Pandemic Studios' Destroy All Humans takes the classic concept of man versus alien and sort of turns it on its head. This time around, you're not the heroic human. You're not championing our species against an otherworldly onslaught or anything so terribly trite. No, this time you're the evil alien invader. You're bent on wiping out humanity with a blast of your trusty death ray, or, something like that. In the game, you play as Cryptosporidian 137. Try saying that 5 times fast now.
You lost me.
No, you can't do it, can you? You come from an alien race known as the Furon Empire, and your predecessor, Cryptosporidian 136, goes missing on the planet Earth. You're sent down to investigate this foul race of monkeys, as Crypto so affectionately refers to them, and harvest their brain stems. No, seriously, you explode people's heads and take their brain stems, because apparently humans have Furon DNA buried in them for some reason that, whatever, doesn't matter. Along the way, you'll encounter an evil clandestine group of government agents called the Majestic. You'll blow up entire cities, meet radioactive zombie cows, and, yeah, you guessed it, destroy a whole lot of humans. What makes Destroy All Humans a fun game isn't necessarily its gameplay. In fact, that's probably the least remarkable thing about it. You're armed with a few different types of goofy alien weaponry, as well as some psychic powers, and from time to time you actually hop in your trusty flying saucer and lay waste to, entire cities and military onslaughts and things like that. Okay, well, all that sounds well and good and whatever. There really isn't a whole lot to any of that. Like, on foot, the enemies are really not very challenging at all, and things are even easier once you take to the skies. What does make Destroy All Humans fun, though, is its sense of style. Pandemic has clearly been watching way too much really terrible science fiction movies from the 1950s. In a lot of ways, this is really a genius send-up of driving quality science fiction, and the 1950s in general. There's a whole running gag with communism being blamed for every weird thing that happens in the game.
You want to know what's been going on around here? I'll tell you what's been going on around here. Communism, that's what!
The game really accurately depicts the sorts of cheeseball design elements from an old sci-fi movie. Then it just kind of takes it and runs with it, over-exaggerating everything and making this really kind of goofy, fun world. The game has kind of an open-ended feel to it, though it becomes pretty apparent over time that that really isn't the case. You can visit previously beaten areas and such and engage in some side quests there, and the only reason to ever bother with them is because you need to collect more DNA, which you'll need to unlock more story missions and upgrade crypto and what have you. Mostly you'll just be playing through the story missions and ignoring most of the bonus missions if you're lucky. That's doubly unfortunate, though, because the story portion of the game is only like 8 hours long. And though, in all honesty, that's about as much of the gameplay as you can probably stand before it becomes a little too repetitive and stale. But again, what really makes Destroy All Humans is its atmosphere, not its gameplay. What really stands out about it is just all the little details developers added in. Like the soundtrack, for instance, is just absolutely perfect. It's got that weirdly over-dramatic, orchestral thing going on, but with a big dose of theremin mixed in for this wonderfully tacky vibe. The game also just has such an appreciable affection for its inspirations, which you'll really notice, especially in the unlockable movies section of the game, where you can watch, of all things, a 5-minute clip of Ed Wood's dubious classic Plan 9 from Outer Space, as well as the full-length feature film Teenagers from Outer Space. As unlockable extras go, they don't get a whole lot better than that. Both versions of Destroy All Humans are basically the same, though the PS2 version suffers from a worse draw distance than the Xbox One. Both of them have issues in this area, though, as pop-up is readily apparent all over the place in both versions of the game. The graphics are otherwise really great on both platforms. Destroy All Humans is one of those games that leans heavy on the intangibles to succeed. It's light on death, but it's equally heavy on charm. I don't necessarily think its $50 price tag is really worth it, considering how short it is and its sort of lack of replay value. But as far as rentals go, Destroy All Humans would be a great way to spend a weekend.
Boom, ship, boom.